Welcome to Real Deal. I'm Giselle, and today, unfortunately, for the rest of the year, you get me. But we do have a very special co-host, my beautiful partner, Mr. Red. Say hi.
That's me. I'm Mr. Red. Hello.
And Tara, unfortunately, is out on leave the rest of the year, but she'll be back in the new year. Don't fret. This episode, I shall say, is going to be a very special holiday episode of our 3 holiday favorites. And I am very excited for this one. Are you?
I'm pretty excited. I had to think for a moment about what my very favorite holiday movies are because I kind of have a lot.
I agree. I think I do have a lot as well. But these are like my core 3, like that define me.
Yeah.
And I think one of yours too, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Do you want to start us off with your first favorite, Red?
Yeah. Okay. I'll start. So the first favorite I chose Bad Santa. I don't know if that's a popular choice. Bad Santa is this kind of black comedy from 2003. It stars Billy Bob Thornton, Sling Blade. It's basically about this. It's basically about this guy who poses as a mall Santa to rob malls. He's kind of just this horrible guy. It's just this story of everything that he's doing that's terrible at all times. We love Billy Bob, but he kind of redeems himself a little bit by standing up for this kid who's getting bullied. And I don't know, there's something about that. It's just like something about like a completely irredeemable, just
like loser,
shitty character who has the littlest bit of humanity in him that I kind of just have a soft spot for. And those movies from the early 2000s that are just
do you know what year
completely
that came
offensive.
Out? Or did you say?
I think it came out in 2003.
Yeah. That was early days.
Yeah, early days.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's your first pick?
That's my first pick, yeah.
That's fab. I love that. I do think that there also has been a lot of talk about Billy Bob Thornton recently because I feel like every once in a while that video of him and Angelina Jolie circulates where she's like kissing on him. Yeah. I feel like everyone's like, Billy Bob, who is he? So shout out to the man.
Shout out to Billy Bob.
We love him. He's so good. He's like the dark comedian of Daniel Day-Lewis. My first pick is going to be The Holiday, a 2006 film directed by Nancy Meyers, who also directed like The Parent Trap, Father of the Bride, and I think she worked on Marie Antoinette as well. But the movie stars Jack Black, Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, and Jude Law. And pretty much like Kate Winslet is in the UK and she's like madly in love with her boss. And he kind of leads her on actually. And he doesn't really like reciprocate the same energy. And at this like work party, he announces that he's engaged and it's very awful for her. So then she's like really upset and she's like, I just need to get away from the UK. And then Cameron Diaz is she's like a big movie, like trailer producer, like editor. And she's like having a breakup with her boyfriend who's like insufferable because I think he cheated on her. I can't remember. But yeah, pretty much what happens is they do a house swap. So like they don't meet, but they do a house swap. And essentially like Kate Winslet falls in love with her neighbor or like who's Jack Black or not the neighbor. He's like the sound mixer or something. Yeah. And then Jude Law falls in love with Cameron Diaz, but because Jude Law is Kate Winslet's brother in the movie. So it's like a little swap
type movie.
Yeah. It's very cute. And I love it. It's just so feel good.
That kind of like
we watched that movie together.
Yeah, that like Christmas rom-com.
Love Actually type beat.
Yeah, totally Love Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What's your second?
Okay, for my second movie, I also picked a late 90s movie this time. I picked Jingle All the Way.
I've never
I don't know
heard
if you've seen that movie.
No.
I don't know who has seen that movie. I think it was definitely a movie that I saw on TV, like Homesick as a kid.
Like on TBS?
It was like one of those types of movies, yeah. Like Half Awake, I think was when I first saw it. Like on Sipping Sprite or something. Yeah.
Sipping Sprite.
Well, like Sick, you know.
Yeah, but I love that movie. We should do an episode that's like a Sipping Sprite episode.
Saltines and Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jingle All the Way, it stars, of all people, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Sinbad is crazy.
Yeah, and they're both basically trying to kind of purchase this toy,
Toy?
for their kid for Christmas.
Okay.
It's called Turbo Man, and it's all about that kind of Christmas rush and like everything's selling out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like a mad dash where everything goes wrong. They're both trying to just get that toy, make their kids happy for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And I kind of love those movies where it's just kind of like almost like a caper where someone's just like,
there's like
they have
goal.
one goal and everything is stopping them from getting there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Personally, I love Arnie.
We love Arnie.
We love Arnie. And I don't know. There's something just so I think also because it's from like 1996. I just think that like that kind of era of like mall Christmas. I really
so
love.
comforting.
Yeah, like it makes me think of like JCPenney and Mervyn's a little bit.
Yeah.
And like mall Santas, but not bad mall Santas like Billy Bob Thornton.
Like legit mall
like
Santas.
A real mall Santa. And there's just something about it. I really love that kind of movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you remember like the first time you watched it?
Like I said, I honestly think I saw it on TV as a kid first.
Yeah,
and then,
but were you like, this is sick?
No, I don't think I thought it was sick. I think it was kind of a retrospect favorite where I think I like rewatched
You were like,
it at one
damn,
point.
that's good actually.
Yeah, or I mean, I don't even know if I would say it was good. I mean, I think a lot of my favorite movies aren't necessarily good movies as much as they're
good.
Yeah, they're good,
Yeah.
but they're not like
well produced.
Yeah, they're not necessarily like
They're not
Criterion Collection good.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just like
fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. Speaking about movies that are fun to watch, my second pick is 8 Crazy Nights. The 2002. Oh my God, that was 22 years ago. Isn't
That's
that crazy? Directed by Seth Kearsley, and it stars Adam Sandler, Jackie Sandler, John Lovitz, Kevin Nealon, and like a bunch of like Adam Sandler's Usual Suspects sort of cast sort of thing. And Adam Sandler directs, he plays the main 3 characters, which is Davey, Whitey, and Eleanor.
I didn't even realize he played Whitey.
Yes.
That's funny.
And this movie is like the only Hanukkah movie I would say
It's
that
basically
is
the
like
only Hanukkah
legit. There are very few Hanukkah movies.
There's barely any Hanukkah media that's been made except for by Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's true. But this is like the best one. I think that it's just like so fucking funny. And it's about this guy who his name's Davey, who's like this alcoholic. He's Jewish. But he's like a criminal and he has like I can't even remember. Like he has a traumatic past. Is it his parents die?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something happens where he's like really traumatized, and when he was a kid he used to be like so good at basketball, and like the community thought he was so good, and then he turned into like this deadbeat like burnout guy. And so pretty much like his get out of jail free card is he volunteers they make him do community service for his local basketball team, and he like coaches this one kid and like pretty much falls in love with his mom and how he's like courting her, but also Whitey and his sister Eleanor, who are like the weird little gremlins of the town, but are like absolute sweethearts, like try to help him and help reform him and like take him under his wing. He's like completely an asshole to them. And I think Whitey is the referee.
Yeah, he is.
On the team.
Yeah.
For the team.
He's always fucking with Whitey, huh? Like he locks him in the porta potty and like pushes it down a hill. It's just like the most foul thing in the world.
It was so gross. There's so many like wild things in that movie, but it's genuinely so funny, and I really like that movie.
I just gotta say, I think the movie has like the best product placement that I've
Oh my God,
ever
the mall
seen.
scene.
Because it is like basically most of the movie revolves around the mall, and
Yeah.
there's like Panda Express and like Spencer's, Foot Locker. I think Cinnabon might be there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what.
There's like a musical montage with all of these. He like breaks into the mall, and all of the mascots from the
You
mall.
like hallucinate.
Yeah.
Like the panda from Panda Express.
Yeah, they all start singing.
Yeah.
But that's a good one. I like that part too.
That's awesome.
Your next one?
Okay, my next movie that I chose, I mean, this is probably one that's a little more popular than my first two choices. I chose The Grinch. We all know The Grinch. It came out in 2000, which is also incredible to think about. This is the Jim Carrey version. I think also there's like the animated version, right?
Yeah, but that one is How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay, yeah, this is just The Grinch. With The Grinch, I mean, we kind of all know what it's about. It's about the Grinch himself, the green dude who wants to ruin Christmas for all these Christmas lovers.
But it's like his origin story.
Yeah, it's kind of his origin story, and also just kind of also just the story of him like kind of coming down. He does steal Christmas in that movie.
It does like it's like his origin story, and then it follows like the same story pattern and narration of How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, but I think for me, I just like I've always loved the design of the Grinch, like the town, everything about it. I've always loved Dr. Seuss, like as a writer, and also like as a visual designer. I mean, like I was as a teacher, I love reading his stories. They're just so fun to read out loud.
Yeah,
and
kids love it.
That translates to the movie, I think, and like I think his sensibilities translate in the movie. You can see, like when the Grinch's heart grows, like it's just so funny.
Do we know who directed that? I think that there are some really great stylistic choices in that movie, like the costume, the look of the Who's in Whoville, the way that the town is built, like you said. Like there's some really great stylistic choices.
Howard movie.
Ron Howard, you genius. That's awesome.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow, that's awesome. I never even really thought about that he directed that. But it's really good.
Kind of wild, yeah.
And Jim Carrey is phenomenal in that movie. Everyone just is so good. Baby Grinch is crazy. Baby Grinch is insane.
Cute. He's so cute.
But also young preteen Grinch, so jazz coded, I fear. So jazz coded.
That's why I like it,
when he lifts up the Christmas tree, when he lifts up the Christmas tree and he's like, I hate Christmas, and then he throws it. I feel like that's me.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, and he's just the design is so
cute.
good.
The cute.
Prosthetics are amazing. Jim Carrey is perfect for that role. Even his little lair too, and Max. Oh my God,
Max
everything
is amazing.
Everything about that
Max.
movie is right.
Yeah, that's a perfect Christmas movie.
Yeah, I agree. Any other comments?
I also love Cindy Lou Who's hairstyle.
Oh, all of their hairs, right?
Yeah,
their hairstyles.
The Who hair is pretty great.
The Who hairs, they have. You want to explain the Who hairs?
They just, I don't know. They just fuck up their hair. Basically, they just stick it straight up, and I don't know. The men have weird
victory rolls.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
those the puffs on both sides of their head that are curled.
I mean, the Whoville hair is braided up on top of your head. You got to use wires. They have milk and cookie platters in their hair and eggnog cups.
It's just the perfect Christmas world. If you were if Christmas didn't exist and you were writing Christmas as for a novel or something, it's the perfect setting.
I agree.
Okay.
And go ahead.
I was just going to ask you what your third movie is.
Yeah, my third movie is Happiest Season. It's actually a newer movie. It's a 2020 movie directed by Clea Duvall, and it stars Kristen Stewart, Dan Levy, Aubrey Plaza, Mackenzie Davis, and this was really a sleeper for me. I think it was a Hulu release, actually, and it was I think it was coming off of Kristen Stewart, like, doing different and new things that weren't Twilight, and, like, really the peak of her being herself and, like, coming out as queer.
Yeah.
And this movie is about, like, a lesbian who goes into town with her girlfriend, and she wants to propose to her girlfriend, but her girlfriend's family is really conservative and doesn't know that she's gay. And so, like, pretty much Kristen Stewart's trying to, like, be like, hey, have you done it yet? And the movie is so fucking funny and good, and I didn't anticipate it to be that good, but it was. And I think it was, like, Kristen Stewart's first time to be like, haha, she's, like, so dynamic as an actress.
Does her family just think that they're roommates or something?
Yeah, they're just like, this is her friend. But it was really good. And those are my 3.
That's awesome.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do have an honorable mention. It's not a feature-length film. It is a short film. It's called The Snowman. I don't know. Have you seen that movie?
Is it?
It's an animated movie about a boy who builds a snowman.
No. I just think of the Campbell Soup commercial. It's just the Campbell Soup commercial.
Yeah, maybe I'm just thinking of the commercial for Campbell's Soup. No, The Snowman is awesome. It's only about, like, 28 minutes or something like that.
The Snowman. That makes me think of the movie with Michael Keaton.
No, I mean, it's completely silent.
Yeah.
And it's completely hand drawn too. It's like, I think it's all drawn with, like, pastels and crayons. So it's just really beautiful. But basically just about this little boy who builds a snowman on Christmas Eve, and the snowman, like, flies him around the world to, like, the North Pole to meet Santa Claus. And yeah, like I said, there's no talking or anything. It's just, like, kind of, like, beautiful ethereal music and, like, amazing drawings. And I don't know. It's just really. It's just like it's also like another just amazing Christmas movie. It has, like, really just, like, a nice, warm, kind of sit around a fire feeling. It is just a warning, like, a little bit sad.
Sad?
Like a small spoiler.
Oh, hell.
The snowman does melt
You're
in the end.
You're making up for Tara's sad pics.
Yeah, so the snowman does melt in the end, but
Fuck!
But no, I really urge you to watch that movie. That movie is awesome.
My honorable holiday pick is any of the Rankin and Bass ones. A Year Without a Santa Claus, I would say, is easily one of my favorite Rankin and Bass. That's a Rankin and Bass one, right?
I think so.
Yeah, A Year Without a Santa Claus is so fucking good. Heat Miser and Snow Miser are easily, like, some of the best holiday characters to exist.
Yeah, I love it.
I would say they're so fucking good. I'm Heat Miser. Whatever I touch starts to melt to my clutch. I'm too much. Like, okay, mama, a diva behind you. And then it's fucking Snow Miser.
Yeah.
Like, it's so insane. I love that movie. Also, I would say holiday honorable mention, Terrifier 3.
Terrifier 3, I had to almost close my eyes for some parts of it, but that is a great movie.
Yeah.
That was a lot better than I thought it would be from only having seen the first Terrifier, not the second one.
Yeah. It had the holiday spirit we were looking for.
Definitely. I would like to say I have been told that I look like the Rankin and Bass Santa Claus when I grow my beard out.
Who told you that? Did I tell you that?
I think you told me that.
I did tell you that, actually.
Yeah, because my beard grows in red. So.
And you're my red.
Yeah, so there's that.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you have a good week. See you at the end of it.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.